Welcome to the National Pizza Day Scary Story Reaction Pseudo-Stream. I'm Dead Palette, and this is my artist girlfriend Chelsea. We like reading creepy stories and reacting to them, so we went to pick up pizza from our favorite regional chain, grabbed some fancy chips and some fancy tea beer, and sat down to read some pizza-related horror stories. We read 5 whole stories, some from sites like Creepypasta.org and the Creepypasta Wikia, and even an SCP entry about pizza. So I hope you have your pizza hot and ready, a cold brewski, and maybe some room temperature tertiary snackies as we strap in to read some horror stories, paragraph by paragraph, and slice by slice.
I do not need a glass, but thank you for getting me one. I will use it. I'm not even going to chance that. I will spill it all over myself. Oh, it's such a pretty pink.
I'm excited for pizza, but I'm also more excited for this.
Yeah. To try it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god, I love tea beer. This is tea beer, guys. It's by Wild Ohio Brewing. Wild Ohio Brewing.
And it has no gluten in it.
Zero gluten.
Pizza has no gluten in it. And our chips
Zero
are
gluten.
explicitly labeled gluten-free.
Which, yeah, everything's gluten-free.
So welcome to the pizza pseudo-stream. There should be messages here or here. Maybe people are commenting, maybe they're not. Who knows? Game theory. That is really sweet.
Yeah?
I like it though.
Ooh, that's good. You can taste like the bourbon barrel. I like that.
So we're obviously going to be reading pizza-related creepypastas, creepy stories. And you cannot eat a piece of pizza until you read a paragraph.
Can we start with, like, before we do that, though, can we just have one piece each?
No.
The tiniest of pieces?
No. That's the piece you want the most.
Yeah, they're so tiny. They got that
so for each paragraph we read, we get a piece of pizza.
Alright, well then I'm starting.
You can start us off. We're reading We Don't Deliver, hosted at creepypasta.org.
After moving to a small town in southern Michigan, I got a job as a cashier in the local store. After work, I would walk home to my small house and order a small pizza. Yes.
Now you get a piece of pizza.
Look at how tiny they cut this.
You want to show? Get a
nice, good close up.
Yeah, view nomin on it.
Yeah. So tiny.
For anyone who has a giantess vor pizza fetish. This was my routine for 2 weeks when things took a strange turn. I called in my usual order to the pizzeria when a new voice, one I hadn't heard before, answered the phone and told me, "The usual? No problem. We'll deliver it in less than 5 minutes." Okay.
Alright. Sure enough, within 5 minutes my order was delivered, and it was exactly what I ordered every...
Crunch.
Yeah, they cooked it good.
Mm-hmm.
And it was exactly what I ordered every night before. This guy eats a lot of pizza. When I tried to give the delivery boy a tip, he declined. He said he didn't need it and that he was just working at the pizzeria to get out of the house and try to meet new people. My turn again. Which piece should I go with?
That's the question.
Yeah, I'm going with this one.
So that's weird. Little young boy turning down tips, just wants to meet new people. Alright. This became my new routine for about 3 months. I'd order the same pizza, and the same delivery boy would stop by at the same time. It was sort of a running joke between us, how they knew my routine so well, and that I'd always had I always had exactly what he needed. What do they mean he always had exactly what he needed?
Hmm.
Yeah, just what I needed. You mean like money?
He knew my routine so well, and that I always had exactly what he needed. I guess money.
I'm guessing money?
Maybe he sucked his dick?
Who knows? Hey, I didn't order any sauce.
Hey, lady, I didn't order any sausage. When I grew tired of eating the same thing every night, period. On my way home, I stopped at the small diner across the street from the pizza place and had a nice dinner. Through the window, I saw my usual delivery boy leave the pizzeria with a box in hand, heading towards my block. Oh my god. I'm gonna go with this really tiny piece.
Ultra tiny piece. I returned home. I turned home later than usual, and I found the pizza box sitting at my doorstep. On the box was a note that said, "Missed you. Guess I'll get what you owe me tomorrow." Now I'll have this ultra tiny piece.
This creeped me out. I called the pizzeria and told the manager what I had found. I told him about the message and that for the past 3 months the same delivery boy had been stopping by and that I was sure he was the one that left me the note.
It was then the manager told me something I never expected. "Ma'am, we don't deliver."
Ma'am, the call was coming from inside the house.
Yes, it was. So I think that that's a pretty cool little story. Could have been worded a little better. And I really don't like the title.
Yeah.
Because the title tells you exactly what's going to happen.
We don't deliver.
Yeah, we don't deliver.
Yeah, that's not great.
But I did like the story.
Yeah.
I did like the twist.
It was a good story. Just needs a title rework.
You're gonna have a good time at your Pizza Hut, eating pizza made with ice.
Our next story is going to be late night pizza. Crump.
I don't like this rule. I just want to put it all in my mouth right now. Alright. It was 10 minutes till close when I heard the door swing open. Jingle, jingle.
A customer this late. It was my first day at Tony's Pizzeria, and I was eager to get home. My manager, Mason, is this Soberdorf, had to leave early. His infant son had a fever, and I was left alone to close up. Sighing, I put down the broom and made my way to the front.
Hi, may I help?
I stopped.
The store was empty. Everything was as I left it. The chairs lifted onto the table, the lights dim, the silverware and Parmesan shaker sitting on the shelf above the garbage.
On the shelf above the garbage. That's probably not exactly sanitary. It's not that it's not sanitary.
It's like if you drop it though,
it doesn't.
You know you're gonna grab it.
It doesn't look good for the customer. Hello, I called, but only silence met my ears. I shrugged and went back to sweeping.
The store was eerily quiet. The only sound was my broom, scratching rhythmically against the floor, as I swept shreds of Parmesan across the floor. Only 5 minutes till close, I thought, glancing up at the clock. Then I can finish cleaning, lock up, and get out of here. But I had scarcely slept another few feet when I heard it again. Jingle, jingle. I dropped the broom and ran to the front of the store. Hello? No one was there, but this time...
The front door was open. Hello, I called again. Louder this time, hoping my voice would reach outside. Beyond the light spilling into the patio, there was total darkness, absolute darkness. All that I see, pizzeria, sweeping mozzarella. I couldn't even make out the parking lot or the trees. What if there is someone out there watching? If there was, I wouldn't even know. A pizza stalker.
Aw. The stalker pizza.
The pizza that stalks you.
Yes. I rushed over, shut the door, and turned the lock. Click. No pizza left warm anyway. I muttered to myself.
I picked up the broom and began sweeping around the tables. But I couldn't silence the voice echoing in my head. What if someone was out there? I stared out the glass. The shadow across the patio shifted and swayed with the wind. What if someone was trying to rob us? I'm all alone, no weapon, no security system. Just an old lock on a glass door. I like this story. This is
going pretty good. I also like how short the paragraphs are, because that means we can eat more pizza.
Small paragraphs, small pizza slices.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a very
combo.
classical kind of urban legend-y
Yeah.
scary story. Kind of like pre-Creepypasta even.
Yeah. I shook the thoughts from my head and continued sweeping. I was nearly done when, slam! A loud noise from the back of the pizzeria. I jumped. Hello? I called, starting to shake. I gripped the broom tight, as if it were a weapon, and stepped forward. Hello? Thump, thump. Hello? I rounded the corner. The back door was wide open. The stench of the dumpster in the alley filled the room, along with gusts of cold night air.
But no one was there. I ran over and shut the door. Then I dragged a chair to the front of it, and a stack of empty pizza boxes for good measure.
That is the kind of thing you would do in retail.
Yeah. It's a windy night. You're just scaring yourself. I took a deep breath, the mozzarella twirling and sticking under the broom. Just finish cleaning, lock up, and get out of there. I finished sweeping the back, and then walked towards the front of the store. Slam! I jumped and ran to the back door. It was wide open.
The chair was kicked over. The pizza boxes were wildly strewn about, but the room was still empty. That's it. I closed the door again and grabbed my coat. Then I ran out of the store through the shadows until I reached the familiar cold metal of the car. If he fires me for a dirty floor, so be it. Better than getting murdered over here. I yanked the door open, dove in, and pulled out of the parking space.
Yeah, I agree with that. You don't want to get murdered over...
Yeah, you know, the $6 job.
Yeah. As I turned onto the main road, I heard it. Tap, tap, tap. The soft clicking sound above the rush of the car. Tap, tap, tap. I tried to ignore it as I drove, but it got louder. Tap, tap, tap. It sounded like it was coming from behind me. Heart pounding, knees weak, arms heavy. Mozzarella on my sweater already. Heart pounding, I slowly lifted my eyes to the rearview mirror. And there it was, breaking the darkness of my back seat, was a man's face.
I screamed. The car swerved wildly, nearly missing the gutter. I jolted to a stop and leapt out of the car. Then I pulled out my phone. And called 911. 911, what's your emergency?
There's someone in my car. They were trying to get into the pizza shop as I cleaned up. And then, they're trying to get to my breadsticks.
They're trying to break all my breadsticks, man.
Trying to get my cheesy breads.
My cheesy boys.
My cheesy boys.
I stopped. I could see, through the window, that the back seat was completely empty.
Asterisk, asterisk, asterisk. So this is like a page break.
Yep.
The next day, I came into work shaken. But Mason only added to that.
You didn't finish sweeping the floors before closing up, he yelled. This entire half has bits of food, even dirty toothpick. He sat down and sighed. I'll let it slide this time, but if you do it again, I'm going to fire you.
Mason, I'm so sorry. I would have cleaned it, but...
He eyed me suspiciously. I'm not one for excuses. You know that.
I know, but I swear, this happened. The front door started opening. I thought someone was there. But nope, no one was there. Then after I locked it, the back door opened. I even put a chair against it, and it opened again. I looked at him with pleading eyes. I thought this was someone trying to rob the place, and then when I drove home, I swear, Mason, there was someone in the back seat. I like that. I'm kind of getting into this story, man.
I like the way it's written.
Yeah.
It's nice. Mason stared at me. And then he broke into jolly
Guffaws.
guffaws.
Guffafaw.
No. That's just old Polly, he said. What? The guy who used to run the shop before he died in '02. He likes to keep an eye on the place. Mason shot me a smile. Especially the new employees. I like that. That was good.
Mm-hmm.
That was nice. Let's celebrate by eating some pizza.
Just a good old-fashioned ghost story. That's really refreshing.
Mm-hmm. It's like it's not a...
It doesn't need to be anything more than that.
No.
It's like, you know what this could have been? This could have been like, oh, that's old Polly. He used to work here. Giant child rapist. Sex dungeon. You know, they could have gone extreme. But they didn't. They just was just like...
Yeah, he used to be the owner.
He died.
He died.
He was a cool guy.
Yeah,
Like, it was good to work for.
He likes to fuck with the new employees.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great. That's a clear winner so far.
Just got some
Late
sauce.
night pizza. Our next one is...
Just got some sauce on my dry clean only skirt. Who could have predicted this tragedy? There we go. That worked.
It normally takes us forever for us to read and critique a story, but now that we have pizza motivation, we're reading
it's
so
like,
quick.
Yeah.
Our next one is just delivery creepypasta, and it'll come up.
Okay.
It's on the Wikia. And of course, we're drinking beer because what pairs best with
Is it the delivery or just delivery?
Just delivery.
Okay. With like
Not DiGiorno.
dueling banjos kind of delivery. A deliverance kind of delivery.
Okay. Do you want to start us off or should I?
I will start us off. I saw him for the first time in the freezer. It was late on a Friday night, really Saturday morning, and I was moving food into the cooler for the morning crew. I pulled a box from the shelf and turned, and there, right by the door he was standing, a dark shape. A dim shape, fuzzy in those few seconds of vision. My eyes not quite certain if they were focusing on the freezer door or this thing in front of it. Pale arms outstretched and raised toward me, hollow eyes black.
Lots of Rello on his sweater already.
Hollow eyes black against a pallid face, and a mouth that opened as if to speak. I heard the click and slide of a tongue on teeth underneath the low wheeze of the freezer fan. And he was gone.
He was Slender Man. He had a mouth because he wanted to eat pizzas.
He was hungry.
Okay. That's a... I don't know if you can call that front-loading. It's more just like, no, right out the gate, we're going.
Mm-hmm.
We're going.
Full steam ahead.
Mm-hmm. I stood there staring at the door for a moment, heavy box of frozen food in my hands. I wasn't sure what I had seen, or if I had seen anything. My heart rate was up, and I was sweating lightly, even in a chill. I blinked a few times and looked around, even though I knew the freezer was too small to contain another person. I pushed open the door and looked outside. Nothing. I cautiously opened the cooler door. Still nothing. I put the frozen box inside and shut the door.
I had been working at a pizza chain, a chain pizza place for a year or so. I had a car, a valid license, and a good memory for roads. And I was always available to work, so the manager would soon let me pick my own shifts. I would usually work open to close on the weekends. I made great money, but I had no social life. There was not a lot of people willing to hang out after 2 in the morning, so my friend circle diminished to include only the manager of the pizza shack and a few other drivers and cooks who worked the late weekend shifts.
Let me know if you can relate, because I think a lot of people can.
Yeah.
Of like, I am making good money, having no problems with these other stressors, but the fact that I don't have any real downtime with real friends is hurting you and hurting your mental health.
I think we've all had that kind of a job.
I think we've all had that kind of job in that kind of situation.
Right.
I woke up.
Mm-hmm.
I woke up thinking about him the next morning. Who hasn't been there, too.
Mm-hmm.
Thinking about those black eyes.
I mean, that's why, all those, werewolf and dinosaur horror novels have been selling so well.
Yes. Shook off the thought, showered and went to work. A cold shower, even.
Mm-hmm.
The day passed quickly, and as the memories of circumstances that don't fit in with normal experiences often do, the memory faded. But the memory remains, though.
Mm. Sorry, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm. Is what it is.
Yeah. This is what you guys signed up for.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for signing up for it.
Mm-hmm.
A few weeks later, we were in Saturday Night... We were in Saturday Night Rush? We were in a Saturday Night Rush? The Saturday Night Rush?
Yeah, it should be in the Saturday Night Rush or a Saturday Night Rush.
Sure.
Proper, definite article. You're reading. You're reading.
Doing 200 pizza pies in an hour, my car packed with pizzas destined for games and parties. It slowed down by about 9, so I started cleaning the front. The phone rang at about 9:15 and I answered it. Donkey Nose Pizza?
Yes!
Yes, that's a great name. I love it. Donkey Nose Pizza, will this be for delivery or carryout?
Okay. Donkey Nose Pizza. Awesome.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Strong name.
Secondly, thinking about an opportunity here.
Mm.
The narrator has already kind of said that they're lonely because they don't have enough time with their friends.
Mm.
I think that this would be a great time to mention, like, I keep going to all of these parties and delivering pizzas, but I never get to be a part of it. You know what I mean? I think that that would be like... It's not that this story is bad by any means. I'm really enjoying it.
Mm.
I just think that that's kind of like an opportunity that they could have capitalized on.
Like, yeah. All my ex-friends are like having them show up to an ex-friend's house delivering a pizza.
Or a high school bully. Like someone that they used to know in high school, and it's like they're having a great time and having a great life and everything, and you're like, man, my life's passing me by because I'm at this...
Yeah, I'm just making money, and that's all I'm doing.
Delivery. Great, a kid.
You gotta say that in a kid voice.
Delivery!
There you go.
Delivery! Minecraft party! No, that's wrong. Well, this might have been in the past, so it probably is a Minecraft party, but if it's now, it's like Fortnite party.
Yeah, exactly.
Floss. I can't floss because I don't got the room to floss, and I don't
even know what flossing is, except for the dental... The dental flossing. What's your address and telephone number?
217 Maple Street. 5933309.
You sound like someone with a speech impediment.
Yeah, that's my best impression of a child.
Just go high. Just go high pitch.
I don't know if I can effectively do that, but
you can do it, Morty. I believe in you.
I love how they
just do it, Morty.
They just give a number. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And your order?
I want a lot of pepper wine onions.
Okay, that'll be $10.50. That'll be $10.50. Jesus Christ, it's a good deal for a pie. All right. Okay, that'll be $10.50. It'll be out in a half an hour. I hung up the phone and turned to Susan, the manager. The Maple Street kid again.
It really kind of depends on the pizza.
Yeah.
Like prices in a pizza.
Yeah. Well, it's a chain.
Is it?
Yeah, they mentioned that earlier, that it's a chain. That's
well,
a good price for a chain.
It could be a low, like a local chain, though. Because it's Donkey Nose Pizza. That's awesome.
That is a great name.
That sounds like some yokel-ass pizza place.
Mm-hmm.
It's like here in middle of nowhere, Ohio. It's like, come on, you're down here. You gotta try Donkey Nose Pizza.
Mm-hmm.
I hung up the phone and turned to Susan, the manager. The Maple Street kid. Oh, yeah. Do you want me to take the pizza, she asked.
Take the pizza? I'll take the pizza.
Make.
Yeah, I said, I really like pepperoni and onions. Susan laughed. Really, go ahead and make it. I'm going to deliver it this time because, you know, he's just going to call until we yell at him or until I drive it out there.
The Maple Street Kid was one of the few regular pranksters that we dealt with. Okay. So that's why they're upset with it. He was fairly consistent, always ordering a large pizza of some sort, and always ordering it to the same address, 217 Maple Street. The problem was there was no 217 Maple Street. There was a short block street amongst a forest of other tree-named streets close to the downtown section of our small town. The house number started on the right-hand side at 201 and then 211. Then jumped to 221 and then ended in 231. There was nothing between 211 and 221, save for 211's driveway. I knew that because every newbie delivery driver got sent out to 217 at the first opportunity. The owners of 211 and 221 and 220 across the street were often used to lost delivery drivers tromping through their backyard,
Oh my god.
pizza hot bag in hand, looking for 217. So that sucked to narrate, to say,
Yeah.
but that is described as well as it possibly can, because that's like...
Yeah, it's like one of those awkward situations where you just kind of try to explain the story, but you kind of keep going on and you kind of go into your little own meandering.
But you need to.
Right.
Kind of, so it's like, it's fine.
Our theory was that the kid lived in one of the houses on or near Maple Street and would peek out his window to watch the victims of his prank. All of the delivery drivers had tried desperately to catch a glimpse of a twitching curtain or hear a kid laughing behind some shrubbery, but as far as I knew, no one had ever caught him. Let's see here.
15 minutes after the call, I was on the road, pizza in a hot bag, new KMF DM cassette blaring in my tape player, window rolled down to let the moist summer night air, to let in the moist summer. I crossed the train tracks, turned onto Maple Street. Heating light flashed in the distance, dim and purple with a low rumble that could have been thunder or a train or a distant jet. I slowed down to a crawl at the beginning of Maple Street, looking at each window for the pale, cheeky face of the kid. I passed 201, then 211, then slammed on my brakes.
There, just past 211, was 217 Maple Street. What? I stared for a moment. Bad industrial music blasted out of the tinny second-hand speakers I had installed in the doors of my 81 Datsun. Echoing Halloween.
He drives a Datsun.
Echoing Halloween. Halloween. Off the sides of the houses along Maple Street.
Halloween.
211 Maple Street looked the same. A 1950s brick bungalow with a gravel driveway on the side. 221 Maple Street also matched the memory. Another 50s bungalow with ugly green shutters and terrible lawn art. Between the two, where there should have been nothing aside from a narrow old fence, stood a narrow white farmhouse. Oh, pardon me. It looked bland and boring, with black shutters, a green tin roof, and a porch swing. Painted on the curb and in matching numbers on a support column were the numbers 217. The porch light was on.
I like this twist so far, very supernatural. All three of these stories are really attempting very different things.
Yeah.
And we have a good hit rate on these.
Yeah.
This is a really good hit rate.
Pizza Creepypasta?
I
That's
guess.
so far 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Except, well, no, 9 out of 10.
Yeah, pretty 9 out of 10.
Because there was that one.
The 999 plan. Anyone remember that?
Yeah. Well, no, there was that one living pizza.
The pizza that used
Creepypasta.
you, but that was like purposely goofy.
Yeah.
So it was a 9 in its own regard.
Okay.
You know?
Mm.
If I'm remembering correctly, I might be misremembering. I jerked the parking brake and got out of my car, carrying the pizza with me. I wasn't terribly concerned for my own safety. I was wearing a heavy, steel-toed Doc Martens and packed a 9mm in my belt pouch, totally against Donkey Nose's regs, of course. But after a coworker got jumped on Oakhurst Estate, I was taking no chances.
That makes sense.
Conceal and carry.
Conceal and carry.
I stomped. It's like, we don't have any money. We're taking the pizza. Got change for a 38? I stomped my big clunky boots down the short concrete walkway and up the steps, rang the bell, heard footsteps on the hardwood floor, and then the dry clicking of fingers against the chain lock.
The door swung open, and a kid stepped out into the porch light. I flipped open the hot bag and pulled out the pizza. I keep reading that as hot dog, and then, like, it takes me a second to realize it's bag. Anyway, that'll be $10.50, I said. He thrust a wad of bills at me. I took them, counted $13, made as if to hand him back $2. No thanks. No, keep it, thanks, said the kid. No, keep it, thanks, said the kid. He just took some helium.
You want to come in? We're having a helium party. Oh my god, it's so
helium
good.
foot night.
Helium foot night.
Fortnite.
They get the helium balloons and they put the opening between their toes and then they go...
Yeah, in between while playing Fortnite. On their computers. That's how that's done, right?
I'm playing it on their little switchies.
Oh man, my lipstick's coming off.
Is it my turn? Yeah.
No.
You didn't finish that.
No, I haven't finished that. But how's my lipstick look?
Looks fine.
Okay. It's not like all over my face, is it?
No.
Okay. That's all that matters. No, keep it, thanks, the kid said. He took the pizza, turned around, and went back inside, pulling the door shut. I heard the bolt click and the scrabbling sound of the chain lock.
Scrabbling. They're playing Scrabble. That's what they're doing.
Mm-hmm. They're sucking helium, playing Scrabble, playing Fortnite.
These goddamn millennials sucking down their helium, playing their Scrabble nights. I caught back into the... I like this person's choice of words.
Mm-hmm.
Words like scrabbling and clomped.
It's great. They're really good at choosing. They'd be great at Scrabble.
Yeah. Man, why are we getting such a good hit rate on this? These stories are so good. I don't know. I guess I'm just pessimistic that I'm like, if we're reading 3 stories and 3 of them are good, I don't know.
You've read a lot of bad stories, to be fair.
I have. So I don't go in looking for something to be bad, but I do look to, like, be as critical as possible to get analysis out there. But, like, man, these are just really hitting it. I was still there. The porch light flicked off, the car in gear, and drove to the end of the road, sighed, turned around, and drove back to 217. It was still there, porch light off, old white paint, green in the glow of the streetlights. I sighed again and drove back to the store. So he's just like, so that's what happened there. Goes in, gives the person the pizza, drives away, and he's like, no way that was actually there.
Right.
Doubting themselves going back. So this character is showing you the doubt that they have, and they're like, no, that's real. I like that. This is really thinking, like, logically, how's the best way to tell this. Right. The beginning of this is still weird, that it's just like, yeah, there's, like, weird Slender Man mouth monster.
Right. I'm assuming we'll get back to that at some point.
Yeah, I'm hoping we'll get back to that. I hope that doesn't get lost in the shuffle.
You're shitting me, Susan said, as she cleaned the counter with a cloth. Susan was about 40, stocky, and married to her job. Everyone thought she was a lesbian until that vampire movie came out, the one with Brad Pitt. Then all she would do was talk about how hot Brad Pitt was and the various things she would do to him if she ever got him alone. It was not the best mental picture, and we assisted her by plastering her office with little Brad heads. That's the exact kind of thing you would do to that kind of a manager, yeah.
Mhm.
I swear to God I'm not. I said, seriously, I really wanted that pizza, now I'm hungry. I washed my hands and began making my own pizza. Another thing you would do at like a small chain.
And also having like these conspiracies of like, oh, Susan's a lesbian, kind of like that kind of like petty workplace joke.
Mm-hmm.
Conspiracy theory thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's really nice. What vampire movie with Brad Pitt are they talking about?
Interview with a Vampire.
Oh, gotcha.
I know my vampire lore.
You know your vampire schlock.
Yeah.
So, I actually delivered a pizza to 217 Maple Street, a house that doesn't exist and hasn't ever existed. I've driven out there dozens of times to catch the little fucker, and I know damn good and well that there is no 217. The number skips right over it. Every street has skipped numbers, and there was a lot more numbers than houses in this town, Susan said. She was clearly expecting some elaborate prank on my part, like the time I went to put a condom over her tailpipe, or the time when someone plastic wrapped her truck. If she didn't see it, I didn't do it. So, again, just like this immature yokel shit that you have, like when you have nothing else to do, you might as well do.
Mm-hmm. Fine. Yeah. I'll watch the store and you can go look for your stuff, I said. We both took bites at the same time. Sorry, guys. Failure of the game designer.
Yes. Being hungry for pizza is a failure of the game designer.
Exactly.
No, I'm not going anywhere. No, I'm not going anywhere. For one, I can't leave the store. For two, I'm sure you're lying and I know you're waiting for me to leave so you can do something horrible to my office or something. Reasonable
assumption.
Considering they always prank her.
Let's go over there after we close. I'll drive. I'll bet you $10 it's there, I said. That seemed to appease her.
Okay, what did the kid look like? She asked. Can you grab me some napkin?
Yeah. I suppose I can. $2. $2. Alright, need to up my beer game. I will finish my can of beer.
Will you?
I will. I've had so many carbs that I don't feel drunk.
Yeah.
It's a lot of carbs.
Feeling a little bit, because I actually drank mine quicker than you.
Yeah. Well, in that, let's take a small break and open our...
You want to get closer and show them your chip selection?
So, these are the chips we chose. They're made in Ohio. They're from Rue Farms. They're rustic potato chips. They're gluten-free. There's a picture of the owners right there, I think. When I worked at Whole Foods, they would bring the owners in and they would talk about these chips, and then they got everyone addicted to them. It's a great way to sell your product. Make a product so good everyone at the store gets addicted to them.
Everyone at your yoga...
At my granola crunch yoga store. I don't remember having the sea salt and pepper before, so hopefully it's good. They have like a lot of really foldy chips.
Yeah,
if you like the folded chips,
did you get
they're great.
You give them
some chip texture.
Put that in your texture portfolio, people.
Yeah, look at that. Make that in like Maya with 3D.
Did you know that in Left 4 Dead they got reference photos of like dead and rotting people and everything, and it was too gruesome, so the textures they used for inspiration instead were potato chips.
That's beautiful.
Potato skins, rather.
Okay. And then Dead Pellet has the pink Himalayan salt, which I can say is very good. I've had this one before. So yeah.
Good chippies.
If you ever see them in store, I suggest trying them. And now that our break...
Potato plug.
Now that our potato plug is over...
Okay.
Get back to
Okay,
the
what did
story.
the kid look like, she asked. That's funny. I didn't really think about it. He looked kind of normal. A little fat. He was wearing a striped shirt. Dark hair. I said. He looked like a normal kid. And the house looked normal, too. Though, I didn't get pepper up front. Now I'm getting pepper.
Yeah, it hits you like...
Now it's like delayed pepper.
Well, it's really nice because it gets you to drink more.
Yes.
Because you want to appease the pepper taste.
I like the, there's a bit in The Simpsons. One time, Marge became a cop.
Mm-hmm.
And she kept getting mad at Homer because he kept taking the pepper spray and putting it on his breakfast eggs.
Oh my god, that's beautiful.
Homer, give me my pepper spray.
Oh, Marge, once squirting yourself to the border. Incapacitating.
The house looked normal too. It wasn't until later, washing the dishes in the back, that I realized why the kid looked so normal, so familiar to me. I had seen him before in our freezer.
That's weird.
Freezer boy.
Why would a kid be in the freezer? We got busy again, as usual. As usual. As Google.
Cutting you off.
As usual.
Just kidding. She's completely sober. She just
Which is
can't
weird.
speak.
Yeah.
It is a little weird that you
It is a
have
little
feel nothing
weird.
so far.
Yeah. I mean, I'll watch me stand up after this and be like, I can't drive home.
She's a one-hitter quitter.
Yeah. I'm not having any more after this. Although it is very good, and I highly suggest it.
Yeah, I could suck these
Anybody
down.
can find some tea beer, give it a shot. They're really good.
Well, give it more than a shot. I would say give it like
A whole can?
12 to 16 ounces.
Yeah, I agree with that. Thank you, Wild Ohio Brewing Company. Send me free beer.
We don't have that much sway, Chelsea.
One day, maybe.
One day.
We can hope.
That's the desire.
Yeah.
Get free snackies.
Yeah, exactly. That's all anybody wants in life is free food. We got busy again, as usual, around 11 p.m. I took quite a few runs, some all the way out to Red Apple, and didn't get back to the store until nearly 1:30 a.m. Susan sent the other driver home, and all I had left was to wash a few dishes and wait for her to finish her count the register totals. I was arm deep. Oh my god, I can't talk. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry.
Sorry.
I was arm deep in soapy water, scouring a stubborn pan, when I heard something slam behind me.
Welcome to the jam.
Come on and slam. And welcome to the jam.
Pizza pan.
Pizza pan. I spun around only to see Susan standing there, grinning.
Okay. Time to lose $10, kiddo, she said. You're opening tomorrow, so leave that pan for the morning. Let's go. So the fact that they keep mentioning places very specifically, and then they're also like, driving all the way out to Red Apple.
Yeah.
Like, that is kind of like making this feel much more personable, much more conversational. Like,
right.
Of course you know what Red Apple is because you live around here.
Right.
It's like a transcribed
Right.
account of someone just rambling a story at you.
We left in Susan's truck. She had a thing about riding with her drivers, saying that she knew how we drove. The truck bounced across the railroad tracks, then lurched into Maple Street.
All these bumpy railroad tracks are making me think about Brad Pitt as a vampire.
Yeah. Brad. My Brad sticks.
My Brad sticks. You're stuck on Brad sticks, aren't you? It's good.
Yeah, that was pretty
It's good.
It's strong. The wind had picked up, and the first fat drops of rain began to splat against
Drops.
Fat drops of rain began to splat against the truck's windows. The lightning,
yeah.
Lightning. The heat lightning I had seen earlier was turning into a full summer storm. Susan stopped the truck in the middle of the street.
No fucking way.
Way, Susan.
The lightning flashed in the distance, illuminating the plaid, pallid face of 217 Maple Street. Susan's mouth hung open. A hand stole up to pull at one of the curls of her hair, mousy brown, going prematurely gray. She did this when she was stressed or worried. This isn't possible. Okay, so I will say that they use the word pallid twice. When you're using like an uncommon word like that and you're just using it as a descriptor, I wouldn't use it twice.
But they used it both times in description of the house.
No, because before they used it to describe the face of the kid or the monster or whatever in the thing. They both, the face of the house is what the phrasing they use. So that is kind of like making you think that the house is kind of like the face, which is nice. But I think maybe you could do that in a different way. Because that's an uncommon word, and it kind of feels a little thesaurus-y when you use it twice.
It does feel like those two things are connected, though, and I kind of like the fact that they're connecting them.
It's making me
there might be a better way to connect them, but like so far I'm not against it.
Yes, okay.
I would like to see it used a third time, just because I like to see things instead of threes.
I do like threes.
As artists, we do like to see things instead of threes. Lightning flashed in the distance. Oh wait, no, you already read that. Womp womp. She turned to me. Mark, I've lived in this town my whole life. I know it like the back of my hand. Give me any address in our delivery area, any one, and I can tell you the color of the shutters, what they normally order, and if they tip. This house can't... Oh, my phone went dark. This house can't be here. There's no goddamn 217 Maple Street.
I like that detail. I like that we get a really good idea of who Mark is. Oh, hi, Mark. And who Susan is. It's so nice. It's really refreshing. I'm getting a clear idea of who our cast of characters are.
Susan, remember shutters, tips, and breadsticks.
Yes.
Bradsticks.
Right, now pay up, I said, sticking my hand out. She swatted it away.
Later, I have to see this place up close. This is bullshit. She pulled the truck up to the curb and parked it. She got out of the truck and began walking down the concrete walkway to the house.
Susan, I hissed. Susan, stop it. It's 2 a.m. They're going to call the cops. She waved a hand at me, motioning for me to shut up. I got out of the truck as she climbed up the stairs of the porch.
The door is wide open, Susan said.
Don't go in there, I yelled, as she stepped across the threshold.
Well, they're definitely going to hear you. Sorry.
The door, as I knew it would, as I knew it was for days and weeks, and certainly from the moment I saw the house at night, slammed shut behind her.
Fuck, I said. I ran up the stairs onto the porch and tried opening the door. No joy? No joy.
No joy.
No joy?
No joy.
Should that be no luck?
I think it should be no luck.
I mean, I guess there isn't any joy in losing your manager who's obsessed
Depends on your manager.
Yeah.
She seemed like a nice manager.
Yeah, like I'd be sad to lose her.
If your manager is into breadsticks, that's a good manager.
Yeah. If she doesn't fire you over putting a condom over her tailpipe, she's decent.
Back in my day,
she probably should, but...
we didn't have any of these frou-frou snowflakes.
Oh, jeez.
You used to be able to put a condom over a tailpipe and it was just a good gag.
Oh, jeez. No joy. It was stuck fast and the knob was so cold it burned. I released it, hissing, cradling my stinging palm.
I like the idea that he kind of like turns into Voldemort after he touches the door.
Yes. His nose goes down into his face a little bit.
Yeah.
I ran off the porch and around the back of the house. The rain was coming down harder. the wind whipping into stinging missiles against my skin. I hauled open a wooden gate and ran into the backyard. It was pitch black, lit sporadically by the flashing of lightning. I climbed a short wooden staircase onto the back door and hammered on it.
Susan, can you hear me? Come back out of there. I beat the door with my fist, only stopping when a sharp spike of pain made me pull back. I had cracked a small pane of glass on the door. My blood looked black in the dim light. I kicked the door out of frustration, then ran back down the stairs. I shoved the gate open and skidded to a stop. There in front of me was the small dark figure of the Maple Street Kid.
And call me the Maple Street Kid.
Call me the Maple Street Kid.
Why did you come back here? He asked, walking towards me. What do you want?
It's my sleepover and I get to pick the game.
Right? It's my sleepover and I get to pick the game. That wasn't very good, but I tried.
I don't even know what you're doing.
It's my party and I'll cry if I want to.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, that was terrible.
That was horrible. I kind of forgot the rhythm for, the majority of that.
It's my party and I get to be the pizza. Everybody gets a piece.
Everyone. Alright, Bitman. In the green streetlight, his face looked gray, eyes hollow pits and mouth full of blackness. Thunder rumbled, and I heard a thin scream come from inside the house.
Oh, I'll give you a mouthful of blackness.
Oh.
Susan, I yelled, turning towards the house. The kid looked out at the house, then back to me, then back to the house, then back to me.
Can I be honest for a second?
It's yes.
Every time he's just like, Susan, I yelled. Jason! Susan! Every time.
I looked at the kids in the house, then back to me, features twisting into anguished horror.
Mm.
Oh no, oh no, oh no. You let someone go inside? He plunged his hands into his black hair, wringing and pulling it out. Oh no, you weren't supposed to be here. You weren't supposed to come. The figure shifted, simmered in the flashbulb lightning of the storm. That's kind of phrased clunky, but I know what they mean.
Shimmered in the flashbulb lightning of the storm.
It should be shimmered in the lightning of the storm that acted almost as if it was a flashbulb or something like that. You know what I mean?
Mm.
You need to get out of here. You need to run now. With that last shout, my mouth opened hugely.
His mouth.
His mouth opened hugely, showing nothing inside. No teeth, no tongue. Only a blackened dark pit as pitch and yawning wide as the night.
My lipstick is really coming off, see?
Yeah. Such is life.
Such is life wearing lipstick. I ran so far away. I ran without a thought in my mind until I stumbled and nearly fell over the railroad tracks. I stood there for a moment in the sheeting torrents of freezing rain, and then I ran back to Maple Street.
Susan's truck was gone. I could see where it should have been from the corner, and it was clearly missing. It was 217 Maple Street.
I walked the 2 miles back to the store and climbed into my car. I changed out of my sodden uniform into my regular clothes and dried off with a towel I kept in the car to manually defrog the windows.
God, all these frogs getting on the window.
It's almost like it's a plague. Defog the windows. I drove back to Maple Street just in case.
217 was still missing. Between 211 and 221 stood the weather-beaten wooden fence. There was no sign of Susan or her truck. Suddenly I was immensely tired and needed to go home. The cops didn't question much of my story very much. I told them that we closed the store as usual and we parted ways. The owner, Brian, was more suspicious. Normally managers made night deposits after they closed, and they had a driver follow them to the bank. Susan hadn't made hers, and I couldn't explain why she hadn't asked me to follow her to the bank that night. Everyone, and Brian in particular, assumed that Susan had stolen the night deposit and ran. Nobody questioned why someone as dedicated as Susan would do something like that. Nobody questioned where someone would go with a measly $5,000, much less why. Brian took over Susan's shift for a while until he prompted one of the shift leads to her position. Okay, so I like that the police aren't questioning it, but Brian, the person who's in charge, actually is like, no, I know this person, and that doesn't add up.
You're right, something's wrong here.
Yeah.
Susan's family posted a reward for any information about her whereabouts, but no one came forth. I knew what happened, but I couldn't tell anyone. I knew that, at best, they would think I was crazy or on drugs. At worst, the cops would decide it was homicide with me as suspect number 1.
Besides, I knew where she was. After a month after Susan disappeared on one Saturday night, after the new kids took an order for delivery, it was 217 Maple Street for a ham and pineapple pizza, Susan's favorite.
Susan has become the child.
She is the child house of pale, pallid face.
I'm a little disappointed they didn't use palette again.
Credited to Eric Dodd. I enjoyed that story.
It was very enjoyable.
Story.
That was very
Fun
enjoyable.
Times. I think that it wrapped up nicely. Very surreal story. Really enjoyed it for what it was.
I did too.
Delivery. I will say, all of these stories that we have read, the worst part about them has been the title.
Yeah.
We Don't Deliver, which spoiled what the story was.
Right.
Late Night Pizza, not very descriptive. Delivery, super not descriptive. So much so that there's another story called The Delivery.
Right.
But yeah, that's fun.
That was good.
I think we might take a burp break, because I just need to burp a bunch.
Go for it.
They're not coming out, but they're there.
There you go. Get it out.
Now it's time for the Pizza Head Show. Hey, everybody! Today we're going to learn how Pizza Hut makes their famous crust. Yay!
I removed my lipstick. Because of the grease from the pizza, it was starting to get all over my hands every time I even touched my face. I tried to feed myself potatoes.
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 Look at that.
Yeah.
Potatoes.
Potatoes,
Just in
yeah.
case you mistakenly pronounce it potato, they correct you.
Should I tell the story of lactose intolerance
girl?
lady? Yeah,
Lactose intolerance lady, what?
lactose intolerance lady. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So, just speaking of jobs in retail and crazy stories, I don't know if I've ever brought up lactose intolerance lady to you guys, but if I have, you guys can ignore me for a little bit. But lactose intolerance lady was a lady I ran into twice while I worked at Whole Foods. She cornered me for about 45 minutes both times. They gave me the same kind of lecture, conversation, spiel both times. Each time it was 45 minutes about how the government made lactose intolerance in the 70s, put it into the population to sell more milk.
Now you might be thinking, you misspoke, Chelsea.
No.
But no.
No. This was this lady's belief. Both times I had to hear about it.
Government invented lactose intolerance so that they could sell more milk.
And both times I just kind of was just like, I was, like, too stunned to really just be like, I have to get back to my job. I just kind of stood there just like, I'll keep listening because what am I listening to?
Yes. Well, it is kind of like, have you seen the pizza putters?
Pizza Putzer.
The Pizza Hut instructional videos from like the 90s. Just any work instructional videos. And you just go down a rabbit hole of like, yes, I want to see how to work at Blockbuster.
Yes.
And you're just like, why am I watching this? And then you go down to the comments and everyone's like, why am I watching this?
Right.
It is like this weird thing where it's like oddly soothing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway. Recently we went to an estate sale and got a record player. Mm-hmm. And while we were there was a lady who was talking about bacon, and I overheard her. It's like, can you heat it in the microwave? And I like look around at her because she was one of the ladies who was like selling stuff at the estate sale. And I'm like, yeah, you can, because it's in a house, right?
Right.
For people who don't know.
Estate sales are basically yard sales.
Inside a house.
Inside of a house, but they're like always really nice things. Not to say yard sales don't have nice things, but it's like sets of dishes.
Yeah.
More sets of dishes.
Is an estate sale like meaning that someone died?
It can be someone died. It can be someone's moving into a retirement home.
Oh, okay.
It can be somebody is leaving the state and don't want to take any of their stuff with them. It can be someone's downsizing. It can be someone's in a coma and may never wake up, so let's just sell all their shit.
Oh, man. Yeah. Okay. So we go to the estate sale, so it's like, can you heat bacon in a microwave? And I turn around and kind of like interject myself into the conversation because I had like, oh yeah, you can do that.
Right.
And they're like, how long should you put it in there? And I'm like, 30 seconds. It doesn't take long. And I was under the impression she was asking, can you heat already fried bacon?
Right.
This bitch gets around and starts stripping out bacon, raw bacon, and trying to cook it in the microwave.
So I told my mom about this. And my mom was like, oh yeah, no, you can actually cook bacon in the microwave. It's disgusting, but I used to make it for you girls when you were younger. Thanks, Mom.
That's what you do with kids.
Yeah.
You're like, here's this gross food, but you'll like it.
And you'll eat it.
Speaking of which, Little Caesars hot and
Little
ready.
Caesars. Pizza, pizza, pizza.
This one's dedicated to you, Soperdorf.
The Crazy 8 special at Little Caesars. 8 toppings for only $8.88.
Pizza, pizza.
This is SCP-458.
Object class, safe. Special containment procedures. SCP-458 is considered safe and therefore is to be stored in the staff canteen at Site-17 with no access restrictions required. Description. SCP-458 is a large-sized pizza box from the pizza chain Little Caesars of their hot and ready variety. It is made of simple cardboard, measures 25.4 centimeters by 25.4 centimeters by 2.5 centimeters, 10 inches by 10 inches by 1 inch, and weighs about 20 to 20.49 grams, depending on toppings. As a result of the unusual nature of SCP-458, measurement of weight is inconsistent.
Okay.
Alright.
I do love how much fast food is involved in the SCP Foundation. Because we found, like, multiple KFC related things, and now this. What makes SCP-458 an oddity is that, while appearing to be an ordinary pizza box, when it comes into contact with any human hands, it instantaneously replicates within the holder it is holding subconsciously preferred choice of pizza down to the favorite sauce, cheese crust, and topping.
Isn't it?
Topping. What kind of toppings would you like? It is not limited to the Little Caesars brand, as pizza from all major chains, as well as local and even handmade pizzas have been produced. There seems to be no limit to its ability, except that it cannot make anything but pizza, and its toppings must be edible by normal human standards. See Addendum 1A. The box is also rather indestructible, as all tests to destroy or dismantle the box have proven fruitless. So here's the question. Would it make fruit pizza? Because does fruit pizza qualify as pizza? What about a dessert pizza?
Fruit pizza?
Fruit pizza, where you get a... Fruit pizza is when you take a sugar cookie,
Okay.
and then you put icing on it, and then you put fruit onto the sugar cookie.
The real question is, can it do a celiac gluten-free pizza
Well, it theoretically...
with no cross-contamination?
Theoretically, it definitely could, but here's the thing. What is it judging it by? Is it judging it by what tastes best? Or your logical choice of, if I eat this, I'm going to poop out my butthole?
Right.
And I don't mean poop coming out of your butthole, I mean
Your butthole
the inside of your butthole coming out.
Yeah, your small intestines just decide they don't want to be a part of your body.
So that's the question. What if you're like a celiac, but you don't like the taste of the gluten-free pizza, and then it's just like, oh, this is gluten-free, but that's not.
Right.
And then you poop out your butthole.
Right.
There's the question.
Do you think we'll find out?
Hopefully. These are the important questions.
Yes. Dietary restrictions. Take note, writers.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it could also, like, out someone as, like, you know, a Jewish person, and they're, like, eating it, or a Muslim, and they're just like, then it has, like, bacon on the pizza.
Right.
They're just like, they hold the box, and they open it up, and then there's... The Taliban gets a hold of it to test the true
Just test
Muslim faith of the person. Be like, why is there bacon on here? It is assumed that the box is semi-sentient, having at least enough telepathic or empathetic ability to sense what the holder's personal choice regarding pizza are. I get real burpy anytime I drink beer. I don't do this with like soda or energy drinks or anything like that. Just beer makes me just like...
Wasn't there one time you got that way with Coca-Cola though? When you hadn't had it for a while?
Yeah.
Maybe that just means you need to drink more beer.
I guess. And you know, there's the burp where it's like, you know, like that kind of thing. But this isn't what beer does to me. It does like the burp that like rests right here. You know, it rests right in your chest.
Right, and then
it's
it
like,
doesn't go away.
It's so shallow that you can't do it, and so you're just kind of like a little bit short of breath.
Right. Sounds like you need to do some jumping jacks. Do some sexy jumping jacks for us.
No.
I tried. Alright. After constant testing showed SCP-458's seemingly infinite power to generate pizza, but with a little other use, it has henceforth been placed inside the canteen at Site 17 for free use by personnel. After its open usage has been allowed, personnel morale has shown to have sharply increased.
I like that this is labeled as safe, but it should just be like, safe, but you're gonna get fat.
Right.
Addendum.
You are going to become obese, and your doctor is going to question you.
I don't know what the code name for this one is, but I hope it's Obesity Box. Hey guys, you like ham and cheese pizza? Addendum 1A. Upon testing SCP-458 with SCP redacted, the subject took a bite of the slice, which appeared to be garlic-free slice of sausage and olive pizza on wheat crust. When this was met with the response of, "It's a fine slice, but I would have preferred a rather different sauce," it was inferred that the box cannot use substances that are indigestible by regular human bodies. Further testing confirmed this. So this must just be some... the SCP that's redacted must be some sort of person with a weird food pica.
Yeah.
Like a desire to eat something that's not supposed to be edible.
Or just someone who's pregnant with pica.
Well, it's something that's indigestible, so it's not even something like paint. It's got to be something that a human cannot eat.
Right.
Period. Addendum B,
Like
please
soil.
please see document number 458-1A.
Document 458-1A. I would just like to remind all staff that just because you have a pizza box that can consistently create pizzas for you does not mean that you can just sit around and eat pizzas all afternoon.
How could you just sit there and eat pizza?
This town is full of monsters. How can you sit there and eat pizza?
If continued abuse of the box continues, coupled with reports of personnel gaining unhealthy amounts of weight, I may be forced to implement a mandatory physical training regimen following lunch hours. Dr. Del Morano.
Del Morano.
Del Morano.
Now listen.
I am Dr. Del Morano, and if you cannot use your pizza box correctly...
Document number 458-1B. For simple curiosity's sake, and to perhaps get a better idea of the mindset of certain SCPs, I have compiled a list of sentient SCP reactions when holding the box. So this is just like this little test result that they've done. This little test they've done just tells you what SCP's favorite pizza is.
Yes.
The world building in SCP gets so weird at times. This is all very, like, recent stories, too. The only later entry, all of them are, like, a double-digit or 100, 300, and the latest one is in the 3,000, but that's, like, way far in there.
I do like the entry for the 3,000, though.
Large extra cheese with pepperoni, wet when removed from box. Here's the weird thing, is that they're giving you different sizes of pizza.
Right.
Why wouldn't it just be a large? Well, you know what? I take that back, because I ate a lot of Pizza Hut growing up as a kid, and I didn't like the large pizzas. I just wanted the personal pan. Because it, like, portions out the pizza right for me. And I am also a very picky eater, so there's that.
I do also like 343's pizza. Large, almost every topping imaginable, with over 100 distinct foods identified. It's pretty good.
I was telling you yesterday, you were never, for some reason, allowed to watch Arthur growing up.
No, I wasn't.
Her parents don't make any sense. They're like, you can't watch Arthur.
I was allowed to watch South Park.
The public access TV show. Allowed to watch South Park, not allowed to watch Arthur.
At least I was allowed Pokemon, which a lot of...
causes Kingdom Hearts appreciation. So the only thing that I ever remember from Arthur is the rabbit character. One time they went to they did a field trip to to an ice cream factory, and they all got to make their own flavor of ice cream, and the rabbit character made pizza flavored ice cream, and everyone just hated him. They were just like, we all hate that kid now. What is he doing? He's ruining both ice cream and pizza. So I don't think we're going to go through all of these, but it is just funny that they have all these different reactions to different kinds of pizza.
Right.
SCPs have different reactions. Further testing on SCPs may reveal some odd characteristics about the SCPs themselves, and it is suggested Dr. Crane? Yeah, I guess that's Crane. It's K, and the word rain, as in raining over something.
Hello, SCP. I'm listening.
Yes.
Update.
If you get that joke, then you have to watch the episode of FEARFIC we did on the lost episode of Frasier.
Yes.
It is incredible. I highly recommend it. That's a good starting place for anyone who hasn't taken the FEARFIC challenge yet. The FEARFIC plunge. Is that what we're going to call it? I'm going to call it that.
Okay. Update. Further cross-testing is permitted.
I love how you are literally turning into Michelle Obama doing this. Now listen.
Michelle Obama?
Yes.
She the one that talks like that, really?
Yes.
Yeah.
They sound the same, Chelsea.
They sound the same. Further cross...
It's a Chicago accent.
Is it? Further cross-testing is permitted, but requires approval and supervision due to safety concerns. Dr. Redacted.
Footnotes. Number 1. Almost immediately after opening SCP number 458, the produced pizza began to go through symptoms similar to the other organic materials within SCP-073's effect radius. The experiment was retired, and the pizza being removed from SCP-458 immediately after its opening, and with minor deterioration present. The when queried by researchers, SCP-073 stated it had never ingested products created by SCP-458.
Footnotes 2. SCP-181 was told that this was a reward for good behavior, and that it was a lucky guess that it was its favorite type of pizza.
I want to read what SCP-073 is real quick. Appears to be a heavily tanned male of Arabic or Middle Eastern descent in his early 30s, blah blah blah. Spinal cord and shoulder blades have been subject to replace artificial metal. So it's just Arabic Wolverine.
Okay.
This is what Arabic Wolverine likes. Arabic Wolverine likes medium feta and jack cheese, no sauce, thin crust. So he is staying halal. Our one takeaway from this story is that Arabic Wolverine stays halal.
Arabic Wolverine!
I do. So we always say German Shepherd, Hitler dog, but we now have Black Cherry Bourbon Barrel. Black Cherry Bourbon Barrel. And what was the other 181? Which wants a large pepperoni sausage marinara stuffed crust. Got the stuffed crust in there.
That thick stuffed crust.
It's just some white dude.
What? Hey, it is, in like a striped shirt.
Yeah, he looks nice. He's safe. Description. Nevada Gaming Commission. He defrauded the Nevada Gaming Commission.
Oh my goodness.
Rampage, killing everyone in the room.
So wait, what?
Is measured in...
Unnatural effect on probability.
So it's domino.
It's
white-nailed.
domino.
It's whitewashed domino.
He's just lucky.
What is that?
Luck isn't a power.
Is that the name of the character?
Yeah, Domino. In Deadpool.
Okay, just making sure I'm not crazy.
Yeah, no. He was really lucky.
It's just, we need a Domino remake. But it needs to be a white male instead.
He was really good at gambling.
Oh, man. That was also an enjoyable story. Kind of goofy, but again, that's what some of the SCP entries are.
Right.
Those ones aren't my favorite. I do like the ones that aren't goofy or deadly dark. I like the ones that are kind of playful but melancholy in some way. Like there's the one bowl of soup that just fills up with soup that has sentimental value to it. Chelsea's taking down the next one that we're reading.
Yep.
So I think we're 4 for 4 right now. But to be honest, I think we're about to go 4 for 5.
You think so?
I don't think this one's going to be...
Is it this one?
Yes.
Okay. Alright.
Now I need to find it.
Good luck.
Good luck.
Good luck.
Hello, everyone. I'm Scott, president of Domino's Pizza. Have you heard of Hatsune Miku?
We are going to be reading, if we can pull it up on my phone.
Well, you missed a few words first off.
Oh, did I?
Yeah.
we are going to be reading from... What website is this? From the Five Nights at Freddy's Fan and Wiki, we are going to be reading A Night Stuck in Freddy Fazbear's Pizza.
Boosh.
And or cacao. It was 30th October 1987, and it was Halloween. Me mum
Duke.
So this is a British immigrant to America. Are there Freddy Fazbears in
Britland?
In Britland?
Britland, Pennsylvania?
We do have Freddy Fazbear's over here, with the only serve fish and chips. I don't know why they still call it Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria.
You sound like you're on the cusp of doing a Baby Cakes impression.
They got the pizzeria, but they only serve the fish and chips.
There you go.
That is my favorite episode of China, Illinois, because Baby Cakes, it like defies everyone's expectation in schema of what homosexuality is. There's an episode where they're like trying to figure out, like, the mayor is just like, no one is allowed to have anchovies on their pizza, pepperoni only.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're just like, okay, but what about people who want anchovies? And they're like, well, that is illegal because and it's like a homosexuality metaphor of like, no, you need to have straight marriage.
Right.
And then they're like, well, what if I could prove that you're born with a predisposition for liking anchovies? And they're like, well, that would prove it, I guess.
Right.
And then Baby Cakes has to be like the person who defies it because they test him and he likes anchovies and he likes pepperoni, but he doesn't have the anchovy gene.
Right.
And they're just like, well, then you're just we don't know.
Right.
And so I love that because everyone's like, you're born that way. It's like, no,
and
there's such a thing as prison gay.
I liked how his dad was just like, fuck this, I'm going home. Like when...
Yeah.
And then at the very end with the Spanish teacher being like,
yes,
I like mushrooms.
It's like, get the fuck out of here, you weird bit.
Yeah.
I'm sorry that that's the entire episode, but go watch it. It's great.
It's way better than we described it.
Yes. And this is a live stream, so I can't edit that out.
Womp womp.
Even though it's not.
That.
My mom took me to Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, a reopened pizzeria. I dressed in my Chica outfit. I thought that was a China outfit. I was like...
I thought it was a China
Chinaman!
You're a Chinaman.
Outfit I brought from a costume shop. Chica was my favorite mascot when I was 7. When we got to Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, we discovered that it was a special Halloween night. Halloween night at McDougal's.
This is Halloween.
This is Pizza Bear. I like the idea of like a knockoff. It's like, come on down to Pizza Bears, and it's just a bear. It's like a bear furry costume, right? Imagine it, bear furry costume, but realistic pizza texture all over it. It's just a bear shape, but he's pizza guy.
I'm imagining, like...
Is Freddy Fazbear pizza guy?
Like, you know those suits people have, which is covered in the, what is it, a Dago face?
What? A what?
Like those hentai faces?
Oh, a Higao.
Higao. I was confusing it with a tea shop.
See, what happened was...
That is literally a tea shop, though. But yeah. See, that's what I'm imagining. Hentai bear.
Higao bear.
Yeah.
The,
We were just getting off track on this one.
It's fine, because this is what the people want. They want the off track.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, where was my mind going with that? So, there's this kid that I used to look after, and every morning he would come in, and his backpack had like a realistic pizza texture all over it. It just looked like a realistic pizza. like the thumbnail of this video was just people.
Mm-hmm.
And I hated them. I hated that little backpack because it made me hungry for pizza every morning.
It gave you the hunger.
It gave me the hunger that
only
only
pizza hands can sanitize.
Sanitize. We must sanitize the pizza hands. Get out of here, Pizza Hitler.
Pizza Hitler. Get out of here, Pizza Hitler.
Oh boy. Where was I?
I don't even...
Halloween night.
Something about chicas and...
Bonita.
Bonita.
The pizza, the pepperoni pizza for my meal. I had pepperoni pizza for my meal and had Freddy cupcakes for dessert. After eating, I ran into the other kids dancing in front of Freddy, Bonnie and Chica, who were singing a song about pizza, and I was the most daring one and ran right up on the stage. A member of the staff rushed to me and tugged me away, warning me not to touch any of the animatronics or they'll get angry. As soon as all the staff weren't looking, I climbed onto the stage and started to gaze. I tripped over my own feet and flew into Bonnie, knocking his guitar out of his hand and twisting his hand out of place. Bonnie opened its jaw wide, and I started to cry and jumped off stage. A repairman was rushing in the door a few moments later and fixed Bonnie, but I was still scared because Bonnie was giving me a look.
It was soon 9 o'clock, and the pizzeria closed. Mom was just going, but I dropped my Let's Eat bib and went to pick it up. Mom rushed out of the pizzeria and the door was locked, but I was still inside. Ruh-roh. Did your parents ever leave you anywhere as a child?
I don't think so. I don't recall that ever happening. Could have, but I don't specifically recall it. What about you? Leave in the
Leave in the comments.
Yeah, there?
There.
There's going to be something there, but is there going to be stuff there or there? I don't know.
Who's to say?
But tell us if your parents ever left you anywhere.
I know my parents forgot me and Raven at multiple places, but I don't remember what those places were. Yeah.
Happens.
I tiptoed past the animatronics, abandoned on the stage, but they were staring at me. Chica stepped forward and I ran all the way to the office and I found the night guard, Mike Schmidt, looking at the camera.
So I don't know why this person knows the name of the mic guard so the night guard so vividly. The mic guard.
The mic guard. He guards the mics.
Hi, little girl. What the heck are you doing here? Mike said. I dropped my Chica bib and my mom walked out of the pizzeria. I started to weep. It's okay, kid. You just have to survive. I mean, stay here till 6 a.m. with me. Piece of cake. Mike gabbled.
Gabble. The end.
So there we go. 4 out of 5 stories were great today.
Yep.
We obviously weren't the audience for this one.
Yeah.
And this wasn't just the ploy to get Freddy Fazbear into the description and metadata. But that story was weird, one, because with my limited knowledge of Five Nights at Freddy's, I don't think that it is in England.
Yeah, I don't really know anything about Five Nights at Freddy's, except you have to, watch the cameras.
Watch the cameras.
And that's too much like my old job.
And then there was
a camera store.
Yes, that's where she worked. Which is what you do at the camera store. You just look at cameras.
Yeah, exactly. You don't sell them, you just look at them.
Yes. Yeah, I don't know. There's not too much to say about that. Weird phrasing, not sure. I mean, obviously the person survived.
Right.
So that's the thing. They're a little kid when this happens, and now they're talking about it in retrospect.
Right.
So they're like, you just have to survive till 6 a.m. And that's the whole thing of they're going to come to life at night and everything.
Right.
But we already know that they survive.
Right.
So why didn't you recount the experience of surviving the animatronics.
Yeah. Weird choice.
Weird choice. Yeah, I think that this is winding down. I think that we've exhausted our pizza stories.
Yeah, we've exhausted our pizza source.
Our pizza itself.
We do not have the SCP 558. 458?
458.
458?
Yes, there we go.
854?
So we are out of pizza. I hope that you enjoyed spending time with us.
Thank you for coming out and spending some time with us.
Chelsea has a newly updated website.
Yes, go check it out. It's just cfcolmer.com. It's not really updated. I just bought the name.
Yes.
But I also have like a subscription thing. You can sign up and like get emails from me, and somebody else please sign up, because thus so far only my mom has subscribed to me.
So there's definitely that. There's also Fear Fiction podcast, which she did the art for,
yes.
and
they perform.
Myself, Abysme, and Slime Beast read short horror stories. I do recommend the Frasier one, but my favorite episode so far, and this is unfortunate since it was such an early episode, is episode 4 when we look at the Wendy's Drive-Thru one.
Oh, yeah.
And I like the opening on that one.
That was pretty good.
We lost our intern. We're looking for him. If you've seen him, send him back our way. You'll know him because he's Mormon.
Don't notify them. Just send him.
Don't notify the police. Tell us first. And then, what else is there?
Check out our Twitters, our Instagrams.
Twittergrams. If you enjoyed this pseudo live stream experience, then definitely tell us that this is something that you're interested in seeing in the future. We'll probably, if people are interested in this, we'll probably do it again next time that there is a international food day that doesn't gross me out.
Right.
We did donuts before, but that was just like an impromptu thing.
Yeah.
And then we did pizza now. Who knows what's going to happen in the future? You were wanting to do hot cocoa last month, and you're like, we're going to do hot cocoa month. It's January 30th. And then it turns out that it's like in November. And
my planner says January 30th. And it's printed.
What's wrong?
It's printed wrong,
the
but
internet,
I love it
The
anyway.
internet, Bing.com is telling me otherwise, and I trust Bing.com more than your planner.
Yeah. But my planner has like Persona 5
Go check
stuff.
out Bing.com.
Yeah.
So yeah. Thank you for coming out.
Thank you guys. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, Julie, are you all ready to learn how to make a pizza the right way?
Making it great. Yes, I'm ready. Are we going to cook pizzas now?
Chelsea has died. Too many pizza bites.
Rusty Craig!